Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inspire SA. I have to say happy Mondays because it's the beginning of the week. And before I even get started, I'd like to welcome our co host for today's show. Welcome, Carol.
Merhaba.
How about you too? I
How
hope
are
I said it
you?
correctly. Yeah, I'm good, and you, Carol? You?
I'm good.
Good, good. So, how's the weather that side?
It's windy, it's very, very cool, but during the day it was very hot. You're very.
Oh, I
Is
see.
your side?
Yeah, I mean, also the same. Today's been raining, and we've all in our socks, keeping inside. But now we've forgotten all of that. It's time for another episode, tech episode. So what can I say?
Mm,
I mean,
true.
so today's episode, we have a guest. His name is Beres, all the way from Turkey. So if you're joining us all the way from Turkey, a big welcome. As Carol said, marhaba. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest for today's show. Welcome, Beres.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Thank you.
Good, good. So I'm really looking forward to today's session. I'm sure Carol is also looking forward to it. Before I give her a chance to say something, can you please tell us a bit about yourself before I hand it over to Carol?
Okay. Uh, I am Baris. I am from Turkey, and I am a computer engineering student at Yıldız Technical University. I have recently joined the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador and applied a mentorship program. And I met with the Narcis, and I am here. This is my first session with you. Uh, that's all.
Mhm. Welcome, welcome. Carol, would you like to say a few words before the session starts?
No, I'm just excited about today's episode. I'm very excited.
Okay, no problem. Without further ado, Beres, I'm handing it over to you. May share your screen to start.
Okay. I am sharing my screen.
So, what will we be doing today?
Uh, I will let me show. Today. I will I we will deploy our web API to Azure using GitHub Actions, and we will add new features to our API, and we will push our change to GitHub, and this change creates a new workflow, and this workflow updates our project on the Azure.
Mhm.
I will show you a basic deployment pipeline with GitHub and Azure. So
Okay.
I'm starting the workshop. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, you may start. You may go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, so basically, I developed a basic API web API. This .NET Web API is basic. Um, it returns a random user data uh, with a few properties like ID, username, name, last name, and email. I will show you how it works. Yes, you see it produce random realistic data. Uh, I will do this with Bogus library. It's a .NET port of Packer.js. It allows you to create realistic random fake data. With this, I created this API, and I will also our API is available on GitHub. You can check and download it later or inspect or my code. Uh, Now I will share this project on Azure step by step. First of all, you need to sign into portalazure.com. Uh, if you have recently joined the create a new account, Azure gives you $200 credit. So I will start with creating an app service. Um, First of all, you need to choose your Azure subscription plan, and I will choose my default plan, and a resource group. If you don't have any resource group, you can create a new resource group. I will choose my default resource group. Then you should name your project. You should give a name your project. This will be our domain or API. I will choose my Azure user API. Same with the register name. And then I will choose publish section code. And runtime I need to choose a runtime state for this code selection. I select .NET 6. I prepare this API with .NET 6. Operating system is optional. Default is Windows enough for me. .NET is a cross-platform and it can run on both Linux or Windows independent. You need to choose your region. Default is Central US. Some plans not available every region. I prefer default region, and you need to choose your Windows plan. I will choose F1. It's a free, and it has a limited uh, property features, but it's enough for us, and it doesn't cost anything. It has just limited CPU usage for daily 6 minutes. It's enough for us. It isn't a problem. Then I go to deployment section. Uh, in this section, this is very important. If you want to use our GitHub action with Azure, you need to enable this continuous deployment process. Then you need to connect your GitHub account with Azure. I have already this process a lot of times, and I have already connected my GitHub account. You need to connect it and grant the access. Then you need to choose your organization. This will be my username. Then you choose your repository, Azure User API, my project. Then you need to choose your branch, which branch code will be published on your Azure. I choose my main branch. If you have different states like production, development, test, or any kind of branch, you can choose it. Then if you see that this preview file section enabled, we can preview our top action file. It contains when or action workflow will work. It says in this on section, this workflow will start running when you push your phone on main branch. And if you want, you can run your branch manually with this workflow dispatch specification. Uh, then it has a jobs field, job section. In this job section, we have two jobs, build and deploy jobs. Build job is runs on Windows and it has several steps. One of these steps is set up .NET with the given specific .NET version. Then it runs .NET with release configuration. Then it publish your project with the given path. Then this output files will be uploaded to your upload stored in a directory like this with the given name .NET and with given path. Then our deployed job runs it is also runs on Windows and needs build. This needs uh, says if you have you need to your previous build job have to be successfully finished. If your build job fails, all this workflow will be suspended. Don't work and don't update. Don't it will not update your project on Azure. Then it defines your name and URL environment variable. Then it downloads your project with the given name. Then it runs the Azure Web Apps deploy actions and upload your project's build files to with given Azure credentials to your Azure service, Azure server. It's okay. That's all. Uh, Other sections, network monitoring and text are optional. We can skip them. We don't need to change them. Most of the features are not available in F1. You need to choose other plan. Uh, okay, in the review create section, we can review our project name, publish section, runtime state, and central, etc. So I will press create button. It will take a few minutes. Okay.
I see your Azure managed to deploy very fast,
Yeah,
which is
it's
good.
great.
So while the application is deploying, I want to ask, what is GitHub and API? I see that you've mentioned it a lot. So for someone who doesn't know what is a
Okay.
GitHub and what is an API,
Okay.
can you explain?
Okay. GitHub is a platform for you to allow your projects to manage their history and versions. It is based on a Git tool. Git is a version tool developed by Linus Torvalds, and uh, GitHub likes a notebook of all the developers on the world, and they share their notes with the other developers to help them develop a better apps or uh, manage their process. And
Mm,
that's all. If you ask, you ask, and what is their web API? Am I
yes,
right?
Web API.
Yeah.
Yes.
Web API is you have a web API with the HTTP protocol, and it allows you to, with the HTTP request, you get access to another program. Like here, I created an user generator, dummy user generator, and if you
Mm,
have developed a real user generator API, when you register a website or web app or mobile app, this will create your user for this uh, website or web app or mobile app, and
I
basically
see.
that's all.
Yeah, I see. So it basically allows you to
Mhm.
allows other people to use your application or your website over the internet in their applications,
Yes.
basically. Okay,
Or,
good. Good. I see.
or
Uh,
deployment is complete, it says, and
yes.
let's check our project Azure User API. And let me check on the API. Yes, it creates random user, perfect great. Also, you can try it yourself. I will share on the, okay, can share. People can try it. So, we have published our project with the GitHub actions. Then we want to add some new features to our project API, and we said our user needs more data like birthday, okay, and country where he or she is from, and city, state, and we will add this property country and city properties. Country of state, um, address, country, and city. Yes, I have made several changes and I will share them, push them to GitHub. Okay. I will push them to GitHub and this will trigger the or action or workflow and it will update our project on when it is done on Azure.
So basically,
So,
you added email, date of birth, address, and city on your for it to show when the user checks.
mhm.
Okay.
Oh, uh, let me show the new API. I haven't tested it. It is holding, compiling. Okay, done. On our local API. Yeah, or usually with the new properties, birth date, country, and city, they are available. Um, where is it?
So it's
So,
generating by itself.
yes, it's randomly creates uh, all the data. I included it. Every time it creates random data and it has a lot of properties, numerous.
Mm,
Mm,
okay, that's pretty cool. I won't lie.
okay,
Wow.
okay, I will push my code. Yes, it's uploaded to GitHub. And okay, uh, so you see it started and let me check out or process. Now it's trying to build a chart. We can look its work, its setup chart, and okay. It is setting up now something code. It
So
may
right now
take a
you've
few minutes.
deployed it on GitHub, or you're updating it via GitHub. What's happening
Yes.
now?
Uh, I couldn't understand. Could you repeat please?
I'm saying right now, are you updating the web API via GitHub, or you
Yeah, yeah.
uploading it to GitHub?
Uh, I updating my GitHub. Sorry, I updated my code and
Mm,
pushed this code to GitHub, and GitHub detected this push on my main branch, as we have as you can see here, and this triggers this jobs, and this will be update or API on the Azure. That means you don't need to manually update your project on the cloud. With this
I
kind
see.
of tools, it will automate your all this process. You don't need to upload your newly created API code to manually copy and paste or with all the files to with the server with
Okay.
via like FileZilla. All this job process will be done automatically with these GitHub actions. Like
Mm.
it's a software. It is just automating everything, and this is the one of the examples. Now,
For it to deploy. Okay.
yeah.
I have more questions, but I'll let you finish also before I ask them. You may
Okay.
continue.
Okay. Also, you can develop your own actions. and there are all the resources are available on GitHub documentation. I recommend them to read for you. They are great resources. This published our project, and there is the architect, all source code, and it creates an environment. As you can see, it's an production environment. You can visit our link and yes, already, yeah. Yes, it's new features or API updated and
Wow.
runs perfectly.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I see that you also mentioned words like environment and I see production. Well, what does all of these mean
Uh,
for our viewers who don't understand?
environment, okay. Some projects have different environments. Like you only have one environment, just the development or production,
Mm,
and this was our production. And your project for the busy you for your for your users, you need to make a lot of tests and you need to have development environment. Your APIs for development, database for development with separate environment, and you test and develop your project different than the production environment. This your project production environment will be have all of your users data, not all your test mock data, like we test here. They are not production data. So to manage this process, GitHub allows you to environments
mm.
like this production, test, and development, and it allows you to separate all the process. And we did this process on our main branch. As you see, many projects doesn't have only one main branch, and they have a development branch, and some of them have main for the production branch. They mostly use the development branch for the updating their project, their API. Then, when they release a new version, this release for the production, they merge this project to their main branch. Then this main branch triggers their production GitHub action, and this will be published on the Azure application service.
Wow. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
there's so many ways to manage your applications. Basically,
yes, yes,
you got different environments, and then you can create different branch. Yeah.
yes, yes, of course.
I don't know if you know Scott Hanselman, but Scott Hanselman refers it to as a multiverse. I don't know if you watch
Yeah,
Marvel or the Avengers. He said that you're creating a new universe when you create a new branch, basically,
yeah.
which is pretty cool. Um, I have to say it's pretty informative. I myself didn't know how to create a web API. Now I know. I never used Git Actions before, but now the fact that you've shown us is pretty insightful. I won't lie. Thank you for that. Before I continue my questions, Carol, do you have any questions that you might have for Paris?
No, no, not on my side.
Not on your side.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Um, so, uh, can you mute, please? Uh, Thank you for that. So I just want to ask Beres, another question that I might have, like you've shown us all of this. How can one use it in the industry, or how exactly is this used in the real world? Because some of these are seeing it for the first time. So how exactly is it used in the actual world, in the development world? Where exactly can you find applications like this?
I missed the last word. Your
I'm saying where can we find applications like this? Where exactly is it used? what you've showed us, where exactly is used, where can I find applications like this, why is it important for us to know, basically. That's the question I'm asking.
Okay, great question. These kind of tools are used everywhere in the every software industry. For example, I will give you the e-commerce website or and other big brands and uh, regularly updated projects and like newspapers like New York Times website or Washington uh, Post website. They are frequently updated their code or their project. They need to update their project immediately. With this GitHub Actions and this pipelines, actually, deployment and continuous integration and continuous deployment uh, pipelines, like I said, continuous. Uh, you don't have to stop your server and stop your project. It continues to update your project. They are very important. They are used everywhere. You then because if you have very frequently used application platform websites like e-commerce websites, uh, it has to be available for every time. And this kind of pipelines allow us to do this. They don't fail frequent and they update and fix their uh, problems. And if you have a problem during the deployment process, it won't change the code on your server or on the cloud. Cloud just wait you to fix and start the process. And these kinds of tools are great, and I suggest everyone to during their side projects they are great, and they have to they should use every time, not for the they don't have to wait to use them on the job. They should start on when they are students and when they are doing their uh, homework.
I see. Basically, to summarize what you just said, is that basically all the websites that people use, they are probably wondering how is it kept up to date? What happens in the background? So basically, what Barris just showed or just explained to us, that's what happens in the background. The website updates itself when you're buying something, or when you want to, when there's a new item up for sale. These are the changes that happen in the background for it to show on the website. We just think the website itself, but what Barris did right now is showing us what happens behind the scenes of these websites that we use, that we take for granted every day. So now, thank you for showing us that, Barris. It was really insightful. Thank you for that. Looks like we've come to the end of the session. I myself have no questions on my side. There are no questions on the chat, and I don't know if Carol wants to say something before we conclude today's session.
No, thank you so much for for coming today. Honestly, I learned some few things. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Carol. Beres, before we go, would you like to say the parting words for today's episode?
Uh, the, this is my first time in my life I given an English workshop and
Mm,
meet friends from another place, and that was great. And being an MLSA program is very exciting, and I hope this kind of programs will be become a lot, and I will be your regularly guest.
I see. Okay, thank you for that. We've come to the end of today's session. As the usual, we say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Tomorrow we have another episode of AI Tuesday, whereby we'll be creating our speech recognition, speech translation using code. Last week we did it using Power Apps. Now we're gonna do it using code, and also add on to what Barris did as well, because everything just builds up onto each other, and that's what our episodes are all about. Thank you again for coming. See you again tomorrow.
See you again. Goodbye.